here to the 15-minute chart and see what is going on. So the first thing you see pretty quick on the charts, if I'm just kind of zoomed out, I'm not literally looking at the time frames yet, but just kind of zoomed in and looking at things, you can see right off the bat we have this high right through here and this high right back through here. This was that news. Now if you were watching the charts and you were zoomed out like this, you'd see that this was just kind of more of those call them cat ears, right? Right. So you have these two little points that pretty much the price action came up to and bounced into and got rejected pretty fast. And this run up was right in the news event. We're really, if we zoom in on now this price action right through here, this is how it opened up right through here, and it's just kind of trading along. It was sitting on top of the 200 and on top of the 21. It was starting to push back through. Once it started to get back through, you definitely had to go more on the bullish side. But the biggest thing is really, even though you're pushing up on the bullish side, is watching that news. That's what we always say, go out to the different sites and look at the news. We have the CryptoCraft.com, and you can get quite a bit of news on there. There is like Forex Factor, I think it's forexfactory.com as well. Pretty much anywhere there's some type of news calendar that you can look at for the markets, and that'll give you a lot of the information of what's going to happen that day. And it's always good to know, to pay attention to, at least that way you don't get stuck in these spikes. Now, if you're kind of just trading and watching the charts, you don't, the news isn't as critical for you. But what you don't want to do is get caught in this whipsaw and you're wondering why this candle jumped up and down. Because if I'm zooming a little more and look at this candle, if you were looking for this to get a breakout through these key areas, and you're watching it, but then you see this hard wick come down and back test all the way down to this 200 again, that's really why, is because of the news. So that would have caught you from getting lost in a stop possibly. We always look at these areas for stops anyways. That's probably why price action came and stop hunted a lot of people, because that's where we a lot of times will have a trade. This is typical though. You see the news event, a lot of energy. Obviously it ran up, turned around and cycled right back down into that same area that it had been in. And this is kind of when all that news was over. Obviously we got the rate cut, and a lot of people thought, hey, this is it. You always hear about everybody saying on Twitter, or CryptoX. It used to be Twitter, but CryptoX, they're talking on there and creating all this energy, all this hype, what's coming. And from there, it plays out, but you just see the spikes up and then this ricochet back down. Very common. A lot of times it seems like the market does the opposite of what you think it's going to do, especially when there's rate cuts. You think it would go up, yet it sells out. This is an area that I'm going to watch for on a bigger picture and a bigger scale, because I do expect this to kind of start to trade actually lower than it is, and it's kind of more of the game plays. I don't like to get into this a whole lot, but you know, there is stuff that goes on in the markets and the overall financial economy that constantly just affects it. And if we really get into the TA though, and don't get too fixated in that area, I'm going to jump out to the daily real quick on this and kind of give you a little bit bigger insight. So when I'm on the daily, you can see that we've been in this downtrend right through here, and this started in October. The first part of October we started to top out. This is when everybody's really excited, 125,000, and since then we've just started to grind down. And I know a lot of people said, hey, we're in the bottom, and this is why, because we started to break trend. Now for me, I just drew this on there and you kind of watched how I connected these areas, and yet we haven't actually gone anywhere except we hit the current downtrend pattern on this reversal that we've been in, right? This reversal, and a lot of people think this is this run up. Well, really, we just bounced against it, and we're actually starting to trade back down. So yeah, it's if you're looking at these patterns, here's your bottoms right through here. If you traded through, it hit the rejection, broke through this area, entry, you're down, right? You can do that in a lot of areas. Yeah, here's that low first rundown that we saw when it broke the 200. So that would have been the bottom as well. You can see how this is playing out and breaking on this trend line. Well, if we can't get above it, we're really just looking at the same thing here. So here is your bottom area, and here is that downtrend that we're sitting in. So here's the start, balance it, there's that created the line. You have 2 points of contact and extend it down. We did come back and touch it right here. It's basically 1, 2, could call this right here with the fight with the 200. That's possibly 3. It didn't quite touch it, but got close. Same thing here. There's 4. Now we're in the 5th time touching it. If we start to break down here again, so if you're looking for a target that this daily could break down to, is you go by the last, you could go from the last rejections right here to where we found the bottom. That would give you a pretty good target. If you want to be a little more conservative, you can go off the breakout of that, or the breakdown in this case, off of that as well. I usually like to draw it this way myself. Now if we grab that and extend this down, because really we're going to take action when it breaks. So I didn't put any positions on here to show you, but if I'm going to click something and then put it on there, let's reverse this around because we're shorting. This is where that you put your short, stop right up there, where the last rejection was. Obviously you'd be breaking through right here. That's why you're taking this on this. And then you could put the extension out. So if we're looking for that extension, it's the same thing right here, right? Comes up, hit the rejection, came down, because this is when it broke through. And you can see that's about the target that you've been looking for. So yeah, you didn't quite get the full run, but actually overextended, right? You know, so you would have been happy in that run. I mean, we could just keep building it up, but let's go ahead and move on down to where we currently are. So here is the rejection of the trend line. So this should be where our stop can go. We're obviously going to wait for this to break down if you're going to take this trade. And then here is the extension area. So this would be the setup. So right now, really, you're waiting for this to break down and give you the entry. You can see all the indicators right now are telling you that as well. You're getting the histogram to start to kind of roll back over. We had the expansion during this pullback, but it didn't really open up a whole lot. And you can see this getting ready to roll over. You can see the RSI is actually getting ready. It's rolling over as well, getting ready to get the cross, and your stoaches have been breaking down as well. So you have this as an uptrend and stoaches as a downtrend. That's why you're seeing this red line put on here. It's saying the same kind of thing. So we're sitting in that, definitely in that position for this to continue to go on down. Now, if it goes on down, we could hit this 65,000 level. Really, if you've been watching me, I've been calling this 70 level. This is definitely a good line in the sand for this kind of move. We'll just have to watch. If we were doing the conservative route in here, where if we got on the breakdowns, you can see that it's not much different. It's pretty close. I will have to see. The biggest thing right here we're really watching in this pattern is if this is actually breaking, are we going to lose this 21 in the daily? Because right now that's keeping this neutral pattern. If I'm drawing these out, here's your points of contact, and this would be the first break, because if this is a bear flag is what we're sitting in. So we drew a bigger pattern on here, and then we're drawing the current pullback pattern. So this is the bigger trend that we were watching. And is the trend still your friend till it ends, right? Well, when does it end? If you're asking that question, it's when it breaks this downtrend line and starts to actually show strength above it. So we rejected here. And this is a daily chart. This is a long, takes every single day for one of these candles to print, a full 24 hours. So you can see that right through here. And anyways, that's where we're at right now. This is the current pattern. If this is going to reject, we already did get the first rejection. Now if we get the breakdown, we've lost this uptrend. This is a micro trend, and overall the bigger trend here, this is just a little mini bull trend that we've been in, which isn't really impressive. And this is where you got to be careful when everybody starts saying, hey, it's going to go up, it's going up, it's going up, which it could. You know, we're watching a rebuild, and you got above the 21, which is great. You do have the 200 here, so to me, I would say you're in a neutral state on the daily. Go ahead and start showing me, though, the bullish behavior that I need to see, that you can actually grab this 200 and show some strength on this bigger pattern. We didn't, though. We got to where you had to commit. The price action had to commit, and yet it failed right here. So now we're going to see, okay, well, we're still in neutral, though, but we're more likely going to see this start to fail down and fail out here. And as this falls, we'll have to see. Like, I'm not going to get too excited for this until we start to break this pattern. Now, if I start to break this pattern, we're trading in here, I could start looking at the lower time frames and start analyzing stuff, right? Because I already have these bigger patterns. I might be able to get in a little bit better and take advantage of it. You know, and definitely it's up to you how you want to play this out, but you could play a little more conservative too on this overall drop. So just kind of looking at that bigger pattern. Going back into that 15-minute, though, that's typically what we're trading on. It's kind of showing the same behavior. It's crashing out, rolling over, rolling over, rolling over. So that's just more just on today at the current price action. But let's go ahead and go back into this area. Once we lost this 15, 200 here, you had the 2-candle break. You could really look at this area right through here, jump into your 5-minute, and take advantage of this price action. Now, one thing we like to always look at is this stoaches here. You can see we are running up, but we're getting a rollover, so you'd want to wait to get in, even though the 15 was giving us the okay. You got the top out stoaches right here. You're underneath your 21. So this right here would be the time to take advantage of this price action if this is what you're looking for. This is your original break right here, so you could tighten it up if you wanted. If you want to be more conservative, you could back up into the higher support areas, and then you could let this trade out. Or when it breaks back above the 21, which we always talk about, it's right here. There is your nice clean trade. You notice I never try to catch the pattern way up here. There is a pattern up here, and we could have took advantage of, but the 15 hadn't really given us the clear. So this easily could have been the reversal back up into this. So it's nothing wrong with catching the trend. The nice thing is you're catching on the bounce. As you become stronger and stronger in trading this and backtesting it for yourself and training your eye, you could start to trade this upper area all through here and get these trades. But anyway, and go ahead and practice on the easy stuff. That way you can take advantage of it. But that's about it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and leave you with this. Definitely check out that daily. Set up your charts, analyze everything for yourself, and that way you're ready for when the market starts to give you the next really awesome trade. Things I think are going to start getting fun as we're getting into the last part of December. A lot of energy and lack thereof starts to step in on the charts. Be careful with all the hype on bullish. It may be there. I'm not going to say it's not possibly there, but the charts are telling me be careful. So just point that out. But I'll leave you with that, guys. Like and subscribe. Check out our live streams and our channel for more information on all the stuff that we're working on constantly. And we'll see you guys in the next recap. Talk to you soon.